That is us. We are live. We are live for the Game Week 2 deadline. Apologies for the 6 minutes of lateness. I've literally just got back from being at the gym and the shop. But yeah, we're live now and we're ready to go with just under 1 hour to go until the deadline. Although I'm not expecting much action prior to the deadline. But yeah. Greetings, Rory. Greetings, Rory. Rory, are you ready for the 48 kickoff? Aberdeen versus Stirling Albion. We will be there. I'm excited to see what the team news is like. I doubt he's going to start, but he'll probably be on the bench. Although he could start. I mean, I'm pretty sure they've been crying out for a left back, so hopefully he does start because it'd be good. I don't know if it's on any channels or anything. Do we know? Probably not. Maybe it might be on Sky Sport or something. Maybe not. Oh no, Viaplay Cup. Oh, it's probably going to be on Viaplay then. So get the cheat stick ready. I don't know. I'll have a look here. No, maybe not actually. La Liga. Viaplay Sports 1. I don't even know how Viaplay works. Afternoon, Roberto. Afternoon. I should Brennan was waiting 7 minutes. I know. I had to go to the gym and then I had to go to the shop, so I was a bit late. And of course, when it's rush hour, you're never getting home as soon as you would like to. So that's why I was a bit late. So apologies for that. But yeah, how did we get on in Game Week 1 then? How did we get on? Because I finished on 73 points. I probably should have had this prepared. But we'll switch on over here. And we can see that 73 points all out. An overall rank of 2 million. I mean, the big players were Onana, Chilwell obviously with an assist and a disallowed goal. Saka and Martinelli both performed. Matoma got a return. Haaland back to his usual self. It was good to see Watkins also get a return. I think if you had seen my team selection video, you would know that the thinking behind Watkins is basically just own him the entire season, pretty much, unless an issue comes up, and hopefully he'll just tick along nicely. The odd return. If we could get a return every other game, then it would be pretty good. I forgot I was Roberto says I scored the same as you. My team was quite different though. Oh, interesting. Who was your biggest returners, Roberto? Because I'm guessing you captain Haaland. Brian says 78 missed the Gabriel news because I was watching some idiot's live stream. Yeah, I wonder who that was. I know, I can't believe we missed out in the Gabriel news. Like that would have been pretty good. Because if I had heard that news that Gabriel was out, I would have immediately swapped to Saliba. Like it wouldn't have been a question. I'd immediately just gone for Saliba because I mean it's different to the Guardiola situation where I know City have signed him for like 70 million, so he's going to be important to the team. Like if Gabriel, like with Timber being signed and stuff and Ben White, you've obviously got Zinchenko, Saliba, Arsenal have a lot of defensive options, so if Gabriel is a minutes risk, then he has to get moved on. Your mic volume is a wee bit low. It's fully up on OBS, let me see. Is that any better there? Let me know if you want it higher. Second highest return was Saka. What was mine? Yeah, so mine was Haaland, second highest was Saka, and then third highest was Onana. And if you'd watched the United game at the weekend, or not on the weekend, on Monday night, you would know that Onana and United were very lucky to get any sort of return from that game, because I mean that should have been a penalty. I think we all know that should have been a penalty. I mean, there's no debating. Like any place else on the pitch, and that's a penalty for sure. So yeah, that was an interesting one. But as a Onana owner, I was pretty happy. And the thing is, that's actually a question for this week. So if we go back to the team, the thing is, do we start Onana with Tottenham away, or do we start Turner? So that's the thing. That's what I'm currently on Onana, but I am considering Turner. I think Turner could be an interesting one. Roberto says, I've seen quite a lot of info about Arsenal's new tactics, which puts Gabriel at risk. Yeah, I'm probably the same, Roberto. I mean, I have been after kind of game week 1, I kind of switched off slightly from FPL, so I didn't catch the Estepinian price rise, because if I had kind of been properly switched on, I would have gone Gabriel to Estepinian straight away, just for the straight swap. But obviously now I'm priced out of it, which is unfortunate. Is it better to start Colwell over Bruno or Rashford? No, I probably wouldn't. I'd probably still go for the attacker in that game, because Spurs' defence isn't great, and I could see West Ham scoring. But yeah, in terms of Onana or Turner, if we look at the clean sheet odds here, so we can see that Liverpool obviously have a 47% chance of keeping out Bournemouth, which is as you would expect, with Bournemouth at 7.5%, the worst of the lot. But interestingly, it is actually Nottingham Forest with a 42% chance of keeping a clean sheet, compared to Man United's 27%. So it's almost, not quite, but it's almost double a higher chance for Nottingham Forest to keep a clean sheet than it is for United. So I don't know what you guys are thinking. I don't know what your plan is, but I guess most of us maybe have Onana and Turner. I think it's quite a popular combination. But what is your plan? Roberto says it's between Johnson and Turner for me, which makes the choice much easier than an Onana Turner. Yeah, definitely. Like, that's the thing. The way I look at it is with Onana and Man United, like, yeah, he's probably going to concede, but the chances are he's going to be making a lot of saves, which obviously save points and then bonus points. But with Nottingham Forest, there's that chance of just getting a clean sheet and banking those 6 points or whatever it is. So I'm still not really decided on what I'm going to do. I'm currently on Onana, but that could change as we get closer to the deadline with 45 minutes to go. Brian says, sent you my team on Twitter. So let me see. Here we go. Things to load. Right, there we go. I'll switch over to it now. Yeah, so this is Brian's team. He has Turner and Nets, Chilwell, Estepinian, Gabriel, Saka, Rashford, Mbeumo, Fernandes, Martinelli, João Pedro, Haaland, Pickford, Udogi, Fasula, I don't know how to say his name, and Kabore. I mean, it's a good team. I mean, the Pickford against Turner decision is a lot easier than Onana and Pickford, that's for sure. Or Onana and Turner. Obviously you have Estepinian, which I mean, looking at it now and given the kind of the circumstances, I think that back three is probably the best back three in the game, minus Gabriel. If you had Saliba over Gabriel, then I would think that's probably the best back three in the game, because you're not really getting too much involved in the City defensive headaches, which are unfortunately inevitable, and you have Estepinian, whose attacking threat is just so high. I think, what was it, something like 0.97 his expected goal involvement was in their game against Luton. Obviously Wolves are a lot better team and look pretty good under Gary O'Neill, but Estepinian is still a massive threat. And Brian also has Haaland captain, which I would tend to agree with. I mean, And a small argument could be made for somebody like Saka, but Haaland at home is just a different beast. And whilst Newcastle look really good, I still don't think their defence is as solid to go against Haaland, if you know what I mean. Because let's actually just take another look at the clean sheet odds. Yeah, you can see from the clean sheet odds on screen now that Newcastle have the second worst chance of keeping a clean sheet against Man City with a 15.5% chance. I mean, Man City at home, and especially Erling Haaland, are just different beasts. And I think you'd be taking a big risk to bet against Haaland this week, especially with City at home. Brian says, I really want Maddison but can't find a legitimate reason to sell mid this week. Gonna roll and get him next week. Yeah, I think for most people, I think the best thing to do this week is definitely to roll. There shouldn't be too many issues, with your team. That means you have to make a transfer this week. I mean, as I said earlier, I would have definitely done Gabriel to Estepinha early on, but unfortunately I missed out on that because I was not paying attention to the price rises. But yeah, I mean, Brian, your team's good. I like your team. Yeah, Rory, send your team. Send your team to me on Twitter. Matt says, what's your game week 3 plans with 2 free transfers? That's the thing. I haven't thought too much about it, if I'm being honest. One of the main plans will probably be to move Matoma on to somebody like Mbeumo, because even though Brighton do have that West Ham fixture, I feel like after that, with Newcastle and Man United, their fixtures do turn slightly, so I would look to probably get in Mbeumo. And I've also been considering, maybe going for somebody like Jota, some sort of Liverpool asset, maybe even Diaz. Diaz performed really well against Chelsea at the weekend. So that's kind of where my head is at the minute. Obviously, I still have Mudryk on the bench, which I took a big gamble with, and the next kind of 5 fixtures for Chelsea will really test whether that was a good gamble or not. But yeah, that's the plan at the minute. Mbeumo, Estepinha, they're kind of my main targets at the minute, and possibly Diaz. So that's what I'm thinking at the minute, Matt. Yeah, that's the thing. Maddison is an interesting one because he's playing quite an important role in that Spurs team. But I as you guys are saying in the chat, I think it's a wait and see type of decision. Yeah, I would love Gabriel to score this weekend. I'm not gonna lie. So Rory sent his team over. Let me see if I can find it. There we go. Just need to let it load. And then I'll fire it up. You think Darwin's going to start, do you, Brian? I thought, I don't know, the Darwin situation's funny because he seems like, 5th choice almost. But I suppose he did come on against Chelsea and make some sort of an impact. I mean, he had that good chance that he just narrowly missed. If you're going to Liverpool asset, would you not bring them in this week? I mean, there is an argument to bring him in this week, definitely. But it's one of those where I want to wait and see for more information. Like it's trying to get that balance of not missing out obviously the returns that could happen this weekend, but also kind of figuring out who is the favourable asset to bring in. So that's kind of where my head is. I mean, as Brian says, yeah, it's like Salah or Trent only, whereas, it would take me 2 moves to get to Salah or to Trent. And obviously, let's be honest here, Liverpool aren't going to beat Bournemouth 8 or 9-0 again this year. I mean, that's just not going to happen. They'll definitely score goals, but it won't be as many. So I feel like I just need more information to try and figure out a Liverpool asset. And if I can find a Liverpool asset that I'm happy with, then I'll be happy to kind of, keep him for quite a while. But at the minute, I just need more information. But Rory has sent me his team here, so we can take a look at it. So he's got Turner starting in nets, which I'm in favour of. Chilwell, Estepina, Colwell, Guardiola, Gabriel, Saka, Martinelli, and Boemo. Haaland, Jackson. Okay, so what I would do is I would bench Colwell or Fernandez. Well, actually, I'd bench. I don't know. That's a tough one. Yeah, I would probably bench Colwell for Fernandez, and then I would possibly bench Gabriel for Rashford, because I feel like United are going to score, and either one of those are probably going to be involved. Colwell, I can see I can see West Ham scoring, and Gabriel, I can see possibly being a minutes risk, and I can also see Crystal Palace scoring. So in this situation, I'd favour the attackers, and I would go for a 3-5-2 formation. Ederson or Turner? Ederson. I mean, it's pretty close in the clean sheet odds, but I would go. The clean sheet odds have Man City at the top. So if you want to base it off that, then go for Ederson. Yeah, man, that's so true. I mean, that probably will be what happened. But yeah, hopefully not, because I've decided to go without Salah. Brian says he's 65 million striker. If he doesn't start at home against Bournemouth, when will he start? Yeah, that is true. He doesn't fit Klopp's best side, and Jota is way too risky. Diaz or Gakpo after Salah for minutes. Yeah, if I was looking at a Liverpool asset, it would probably be Diaz. Would probably be my go-to, because I can't get Salah or Trent in one move. But I can move straight from somebody like Martinelli or Saka, or Fernandez to Diaz. So that's my thinking. But yeah, in terms of this team, I would start Fernandez and Rashford for Colwell and Gabriel. I would just favour the upside with the attackers. I can see Chelsea maybe conceding, and I can see Arsenal conceding, and also Gabriel's a minutes risk. Yeah, I agree with Roberto. Both Roberto and Brian, I would agree with what they're saying there. We can take a look at the goal scorer odds now. So as we can see, as expected, Haaland is number one with a 50.5% chance of scoring any time of the weekend. Interestingly, in terms of Liverpool assets, Salah is second with 49% chance of scoring, whilst Darwin is third with a 43.5% chance of scoring. Now obviously this doesn't take into consideration the minutes risk that Darwin currently is. So if you do have Darwin, I would start him. I don't know if a lot of people have him, but if you have Darwin, start him. Mitrovic obviously up there as well, but I think there's a current kind of transfer negotiation going on for Mitrovic, so I would stay clear of Mitrovic. Watkins 35.5% chances, which is great to see as a Watkins owner myself. Everton at home is a great fixture for Aston Villa. They're going to be looking to bounce back after that embarrassment at Newcastle. Ferguson up there as well. We have Son, Alvarez, who's been performing really well for City. Jota, Diaz, and then Sterling for Chelsea. If I'm being honest, I don't think Sterling will start at the weekend. I think Sterling could be benched at the weekend, so I would avoid Sterling. I would probably avoid Jota, but I would go for Diaz. I think Diaz is a great Liverpool asset at 8 million. If you had Salah, who would you captain this week? I would captain Salah. As you can see, there's really not much in it between the goal score odds. There's like 1.5%. Bournemouth, is it Bournemouth at home as well? Probably the best fixture you can get all season. Well, one of the best, especially with Gary O'Neill not managing anymore. So yeah, if I had Salah, I would be captaining him. And this is actually a good time to look at the projected points as well. So, as we were literally just discussing, when we compare Salah to Haaland for predicted points this weekend, Salah is way clear with almost an extra 2 predicted points when compared to Haaland. Salah is on 8.38 predicted points, whereas Haaland is on 6.6 predicted points. Trent also up there, 6.22. Then we have Diaz, Jota, Robertson, Saka, Son, Rashford, Watkins. So it's pretty much most of the Liverpool assets are making an appearance in the predicted points this week. The usual shout for Saka and Rashford as well. And good to see Watkins up there with 5.25 predicted points. Although, is it Everton away they play? No, it's Everton at home. So this graphic is wrong. Watkins plays Everton at home. But yeah, Brian, I agree. Sterling has been Sterling. I would sell Sterling in the morning if I was a Chelsea director of football, or whatever you want to call it. But actually, I'm going to do a quick. I'll do a quick poll to see who we captain this week, and I'm just going to do it between Salah and Haaland, and then we can add another option as well. Just because I think Salah and Haaland are the two main people this week. Also, if you are enjoying the stream, please do drop a like, and if you're new here, please do hit that subscribe button. We are currently 3 subscribers away from 300, and we have been for the past 3 weeks. So if we can break the 300 barrier, that would be great. My internet is also shitting the bed, to put it lightly. So that is not ideal. I do indeed have managerial experience. Or that, and obviously move completely past that. At the end of the day, all that counts is that we won, so that's all we focus on. We don't focus on the possible the cheating. So yeah, there's the poll, so vote on it. 3 votes already, and we've got 100% Haaland. So it looks like nobody's wanting to bet against Haaland. Which, to be fair, I don't blame anybody that doesn't want to go against Haaland. Because it's so funny though, Haaland doesn't really turn up in the big games. You know, he was pretty much invisible in the Super Cup final there, but just in the Premier League, in those kind of games, you know, against most of the sides, you just can't bet against him because he's just that good. So I think Haaland has to be the captain this week. Even though the predicted points puts Salah quite far ahead of Haaland, I think you'd be stupid to bet against Haaland this week, unless you had Salah. Unless you had Salah. Matt says Onana versus Turner must be difficult to choose. How did you come to the conclusion? Honestly, Matt, I haven't actually come to the conclusion just yet. I'm still kind of still stuck on that one. I still don't know what I'm going to do. I don't know if you saw it, but we took a look at the clean sheet odds. And if we look at the clean sheet odds, Nottingham Forest almost have double the chance of keeping a clean sheet than Man United does. So once we get closer to the deadline, that may be the thing that tips me over the edge. On the one hand, I may go, in favour of the clean sheet odds and what they say, but on the other, I feel like even though I don't expect United to keep a clean sheet at all, I feel like Onana's going to be making a lot of saves and could be involved in the bonus points. But the thing is, if there's a lot of goals, then it's very unlikely that Onana is in the bonus points. So kind of the more I think about it, the more I think that Turner maybe is the best option to start in nets this week. Roberto says Sky Sports did some kind of feature piece at Chelsea. The reporter mentioned Sterling. Yeah, I know. I saw that, Roberto. Uh, I saw that. I mean, Sterling. This working? Oh, are we back? Are we back? I think we're back. I don't know how much of that you heard, but I kind of went on a small rant there about the Chelsea assets. But yeah, put it simply, I don't have sympathy for people that transferred in Reece James. I really don't think it was a good idea. Look at that. So one person is going for Salah captain. Interesting. That one person must be the only person that owns Salah in the chat. So fair enough. For some reason my mic wanted to die. Sterling interview. Oh, the Sterling interview. Yeah. So, the Sterling interview. Yeah, I just find that funny. But if I was ranking the Chelsea assets, I would have prior to Reece James' injury. I would have Chilwell first, Colwell second, and Reece James third. Chilwell first because he's much less injury prone, even though he has had his injuries. In terms of the kind of tactical play Chelsea imply, Chilwell just is much better suited to Chilwell. Colwell number 2 because he's 4.5 million and he seems to be a regular starter in the squad now. And Reece James number 3 because he's injury prone, he can't get forward as much, and yeah, pretty much that. You know, his injury proneness is just a massive kind of put off. So I really don't have sympathy for people that transferred him in. He did look really good against Liverpool, but yeah, I don't have sympathy for people that transferred him in. But yeah, let's go back to. I think I'm going to add Turner into the team for Onana. I think I've decided that I would rather start with Turner in nets against Sheffield United at home than Onana. So that is currently the plan. Yeah, especially people who already had Chile. I mean, if you're doubling up, like, yeah, no, not a good idea. But yeah, Turner and nets over Onana. No, I was just having a think there. Like, I don't know. I think I'll probably just roll the transfer, but it's a tough one because part of me does want a Liverpool asset, but you know, after their Bournemouth game, they play Newcastle away, and then Aston Villa at home, and then their fixtures kind of improve. So I may just have to take the risk tonight, or sorry, this weekend, and go without a Liverpool asset. And then maybe after the Aston Villa game or prior to the Aston Villa game, I could maybe consider taking in a Liverpool asset. But yeah, the plan is probably next week to go Matoma straight to Mbuamo as a straight swap. That's probably the plan because Brentford play Crystal Palace, Bournemouth, Newcastle and Everton in their next 4. Roberto says, I find it strange that they made James captain knowing that he won't be on the pitch much. It's only a matter of time before an injury. I don't know who else they could captain though. I mean, I was really surprised. I was expecting Thiago Silva to be the captain for his last season at Chelsea and James be made vice captain purely because of his injury risk. I mean, there's a lot of kind of debate going around whether James needs surgery or not. And I feel like if he does need surgery, I don't know why he just hasn't taken the surgery yet. That's what I don't understand. But it's a frustrating one because Reece James would probably be my favourite Chelsea player. And I think, like, as he's shown against Liverpool, when he's on form, you know, he genuinely is one of the best right backs in the world. But he just can't seem to stay fit, which is obviously frustrating for him and Chelsea fans. Brian says, Gusto and Sanchez for 8.5 million, also cheap route to those chips. Yeah, that's the thing, Brian. Like, as soon as I saw that Kepa had left Chelsea on a season-long loan, I immediately considered Sanchez because at 4.5 million and with those good fixtures, I mean, it's a perfect option. But the thing is, I'm on 3 Chelsea players at the minute, and the only thing I could do next week would be Mudryk to Mbuamo, and then somebody like Onana to Sanchez. But then I would be removing Mudryk before Luton, Nottingham Forest, Bournemouth. Like, if Mudryk starts in those 3 fixtures, like, they could be 3 amazing fixtures for him, and he could be an amazing differential, because I genuinely feel like Mudryk's ceiling is extremely high. If he gets minutes and eases into the Prem. So it's a difficult one, but I think for people that aren't already tripled up on Chelsea assets, Sanchez is one of the best keepers in the game now, especially with Chelsea's next 5 fixtures. And Gusto's also a great shot, obviously, with Reece being out injured for, it seems like, a few weeks now. Oh dear. How long have we got? We've got 4 plus 15. We've got 19 minutes until the deadline. It's a 6:15 deadline, isn't it? Yeah. What time's the game at tonight then? 7:45. It's not even on TV, is it? The game's not even on TV tonight. Wow, that's interesting. So the game's on TV this weekend. Spurs United, that's a great game. There's actually some really good games on, to be fair. Spurs United at 5:30, City Newcastle at 8 o'clock. They're 2 amazing games. Aston Villa Everton, pretty good game. West Ham Chelsea, good game. Crystal Palace Arsenal, good game. Yeah. Monday Night Football as well this week. The only Chelsea I'll have is Jackson and Chilwell. Pedro to Jackson next week. Yeah, I like that move, yeah. I'm a fan of that, Brian. I think moving your kind of Brighton assets on next week is a great shout. And I've just realised I don't have the Matoma. There we go. Let's update it. The Wolves away this week for Brighton. But yeah, moving them on next week I think is a good decision, and it's probably what I'll do in order to get Mbuemo in. But it was so frustrating at the weekend because I had, prior to the deadline, I had Wissa and Mbuemo both in my team, and of course I took them out and changed it. So yeah, that was a really tough one to take. But you know, that's the beauty of FPL, isn't it? A lot of the time you have to. Is it good to double up on Chelsea defenders? Rufik says. Part of me wants to say yes, because I feel like Chelsea can not be as bad as they were last season. No way. They have a more solid defence now. They have Colwell in there. They have Diaze. You know, they have Gusto. They have Chilwell. They have Maatson in reserve at left back. You know, they have Caicedo, Lavia now. You know, we have to remember that Chelsea have bought defensive midfielders that are going to completely shore up that defensive line. Like, if you imagine, Chelsea could have Caicedo and Latvia playing together as defensive midfielders, and then Chilwell, Colwell, Thiago Silva and Gusto with Sanchez and nets. Like, that's a strong kind of backbone defensive line. So I feel like Chelsea, and especially with the fixtures as well, I would be in favour of doubling up on Chelsea assets for the next few fixtures. Genuinely I would. Chelsea defenders. If you don't already have 2 Chelsea attackers, then I would double up on 2 Chelsea defenders. And the thing is as well, like, a lot of the Chelsea attackers apart from Jackson really aren't, you know, proven yet. So going for something like Sanchez, Chilwell and Jackson could probably be the most optimal Chelsea triple up. I know, Brian, don't get me started on the see, I have one of those fire sticks, so I don't actually pay for any of the football, which if this gets clipped and used in court, this was not actually true and I'm joking, so this can't be used against me as evidence. But yeah, it's absolutely ridiculous. I mean, what's the point in paying the money for literally no games? Good to see you in the chat, Seb. Appreciate you stopping by, brother. Hope you had a good game week 1. It's good to see you back. Brian says, I have Mbuemo and he's not following me. He's not filling me one bit. Got a pen last week. Won't get that every game. Missed a huge chance as pure usual. Yeah, I think though, with the thing is though with Mbuemo, the fact he even has penalties is just so enticing for me, especially at that 6.5 million range, and with their fixtures so good over the next few. Like, if you're one to own a 6.5 million mid, there really isn't much option apart from Mitoma or Mbuemo. Yeah, I watched that game against, who was it? I can't remember. It was in the final or something. It was a cup thing. It was Bayern Munich against somebody else. Danny Olmo absolutely stole the show. Scored a beautiful. Did he score a hat trick? Yeah, I think he scored a hat trick, but the second goal was unbelievable. But it'll be interesting to see how Kane does. Seb says, how do I stop myself from captain Darwin? I think you have clearly hit your head very hard, and you're clearly not in the right state of mind right now, because Darwin is... Okay, I feel like when I say this, it's going to come back to bite me, but I feel like Darwin is a shocking captaincy option this week. But I feel like I'm probably going to be proved wrong now I said that. Yeah, it was RB Leipzig. That's right, it was RB Leipzig. But Seb, do what you want. If you want to captain Darwin, but I mean, there's so many better options. Like, Darwin would be my 6th. I would probably captain Alisson before I would captain Darwin. Like, put it that way. But yeah. Yeah, if you could do Mbuemo to Madison, then I would do that. That's actually quite a smart move, to be fair. But what are Spurs fixtures like? I haven't really properly looked. Fuck. Spurs fixtures are good. Yeah, Madison might actually be a go-to next season. I might actually honestly go for like Bruno after this weekend's game, but then Nottingham Forest at home. Madison is actually a great shot. I didn't realise their fixtures were that good. Bournemouth away, Burnley away, Sheffield United at home. I mean, those 3 fixtures are lovely. I think I have to do it. There's still enough time to go. Seb, clearly you enjoy a lot of pain. Yeah, Seb, he probably could get a red card as well. Like, let's not forget what happened. Like, was it like game week 2 or whenever? It was like his second game for Liverpool and got sent off against Crystal Palace. So I mean, if you want to take the risk, take the risk. But you're a braver man than me. To be fair, I wouldn't even go near Darwin. Just own him. Never mind counting him. But yeah, fair enough. Oh dear. Oh, go for Madison tonight. Over in Buemo. Who did Brentford play weekend? Fulham away is a great fixture though. Fulham away is a great. Would you start Trossard over Darwin? No, I genuinely. Fuck, that's a hard one, but I wouldn't. I think Darwin maybe has a better chance of getting minutes. Like, if he does get minutes, then seriously, like, how much did he cost? Like 60 million? Onana says, Mark says Onana or Turner. I'm currently on Turner. The clean sheet odds have Nottingham Forest at a higher chance of keeping a clean sheet, so that's kind of what I've put it down to. I feel like Spurs are going to score at least one goal, if not two, and even though, you know, Onana makes saves, it's very unlikely he'd be in the bonus points, so that's my thinking. Soccer says Salah or Haaland captain. If you have Salah, I would captain him. I feel like if you have Salah, I would captain him because this is probably the best chance you're going to get. Like, put it this way, why did you bring Salah in the first place? Like, there's a high chance that you brought Salah in on game week 1 because you were going to captain him in game week 2. Like, that is the reason. Like, if you brought Salah in, you know, with the knowledge that, you know, you're not going to captain him anytime soon, then I wouldn't have brought him in. So I feel like you have to captain him this week in order to get some value out of owning him in the first place. So I would captain Salah this week. Yeah, start Darwin. Brentford picks. Yeah, I feel like Brentford fixtures are just, you know, really good. I would own them just purely based on fixtures and the fact that Mbeumo has penalties. Even if you have both, I would captain Salah. Like, if you just have Salah and Haaland, captain Salah, because you have to justify owning him. Yeah, Newcastle is hard. Yeah, it's definitely not an easy game, and he's played Super Cup. But Haaland at home at the Etihad is a different beast, as we know. But if you have Salah, I would captain Salah. So we've got 10 minutes until the deadline. It looks like I'm not going to make any transfers this week. I'm happy with my team the way. Well, I'm not overly happy with the way my team is at the minute, but I went Turner to Onana. We can actually take a look. I think I've got the scout selection here. Yeah, so here's the scout selection. So the scout's gone with Turner and nets, Chilwell, Estepinha and Rico Henry as his back line. Salah, Rashford, Martinelli, Madison, Diaby, Haaland and Alvarez. I mean, that's a nice team. It's good to own Salah this week. At least have one United attacker, you know, one Arsenal attacker. Madison in there is a great shout as well. Diaby. I think you want to either own Diaby or Watkins, to be fair, because I feel like you want to be able to cover any possible Aston Villa returns that they get, because their fixtures are pretty good and they look like a good team. Yeah, that's the scout selection. Good selection. Start Gabriel or Shaw. I would start Shaw purely due to the minutes risk that Gabriel is. Like, we still don't even know if Gabriel's actually going to start or not. So yeah, I would start Shaw. If I could get away with playing two defenders, I would bench Mudryk, or I would bench Gabriel in favour of Mudryk. City without KDB and Bernardo will be interesting to see how many chances Haaland gets. Yeah, that is the thing. Like, if I had Salah and Haaland in the same team, I'd be captaining Salah this week. I just don't think the difference between Saka and Haaland, like, not enough's pushing me to captain Saka over Haaland. I think I'm just gonna have to go for Haaland. But I do have the vice captaincy on Saka this week. That's kind of where I'm at the minute. 7 minutes left. I think this game week should be a pretty chill one in terms of the deadline. We're not going to get any last minute leaks because the game is tonight's game is pretty bland in terms of FPL. Pardon me, I'm tired. But yeah. Again, if you are enjoying the stream and you are new, please do drop a subscription. We're 3 away from 300. So if you are new, please do subscribe and also drop a like on the stream if you're enjoying it. Yeah. Oh, Brian's gone on Bournemouth to Madison. So you could do that straight swap. That's actually a really nice straight swap, to be fair. I like that a lot, Brian. I think getting on the kind of Madison bandwagon early is a great shout. So best of luck to you, my friend. Best of luck. Yeah, Roberto's gonna wait. I'm probably gonna, like, I can't do a straight swap, but I'm just gonna wait for extra information. I feel like the first 2 game weeks is mainly about just waiting. You know, unless it's a move you really like. Just the more information you get in the earlier game weeks, the better. That's the way I see it, anyway. Yeah. 5 minutes. 5 minutes until the deadline. Make sure you've got your team locked in. Brian, you have a lot of cash in the bank. That's nice. I would be the same if I didn't have Watkins. If I had somebody like João Pedro, I would have a lot of cash in the bank. I don't know, it used to be a wrestling thing, Money in the Bank or something. I think it was a wrestling fight. Oh dear, keep yawning. Forgive me. Forgive me, guys. I mean, on paper my team looks alright. It doesn't look too bad. I really need Watkins to come through this week. I think if Watkins can pop up this week, it would be massive. So fingers crossed he does the business for me this weekend. I mean, he did more than enough last week, given Aston Villa got battered. So the fact he even got 1 return was very helpful. He could have actually had 2, but I'll take the 1. As long as he just takes along nicely, then I can't complain, really. Yeah, that's the thinking at the minute. Yeah, you had 3 in the bank because you went no Salah. Yeah, fair enough. Good idea, to be fair. Roberto says perfect plan of Salah to Madison and Gabriel to Chilwell for game week 3. So long as there's no injury. Yeah, they're 2 nice moves. Cross out Pride Throw. May do it next week. Yeah, the Arsenal the Arsenal kit does look shocking. I had to try and spice it up, and put a bit of effort into the graphics. So they've got their away kits on this week. But it is a shocking kit. Like, I don't know who thought that was a good idea. It looks like a zebra crossing. Yeah, Seb, going for Gabriel to Estepina was a move that I missed out on because I wasn't paying attention to price rises, which really isn't like me, but I haven't got fully into the whole price watch thing just yet, which is my own fault, to be fair. But you know, it is what it is. So yeah, my team's locked in. Rolled the transfer. Saka or Watkins Vice. That's actually a great idea. Whoever said that, Jimmy, thank you very much, because I'm literally going to put the vice captaincy on Watkins now, because I didn't even think about that, but that is actually a great shout. My vice captaincy is now on Watkins, Jimmy, so thanks to Jimmy if Haaland doesn't play, because I actually think Watkins is a great shout for captaincy this week. Just a nice rogue shout. Post. And what's with the United? It looks like Newcastle. Yeah, that's the thing. It really does look like no, you know what it looks like, Brian? It looks like Juventus. It looks like a Juventus kit. And Chelsea still haven't got their away shirt confirmed, so that's why they're still wearing their home garments. Obviously, ignore the Chilwell. Wait, maybe if I can change that now. I don't know why it said Liverpool at home. I forgot to change some of them. There we go. That fixed. But yeah, rolled the transfer. If you want to drop a like on my recent tweet, then I'll be very thankful. It's now in the chat now. So make sure to follow me on Twitter at IFPLFatherTed as well if you don't already. We've got 1 minute until the deadline. Quite a chill deadline. Not really a lot going on. No leaks, because obviously tonight's game is a pretty basic one, apart from if you own Turner. But yeah, I appreciate everybody that's been in the stream. Any sponsor yet? Haaland captain, Watkins vice captain. Yep, that's currently what I'm on. Any sponsor yet? The sponsor is Infinite. Infinite Athlete is going to be the sponsor on the front of the shirt. So Infinite Athlete, even though I've never heard of them, it actually looks quite nice. But yeah, Infinite Athlete. The issue is, it looks like it's going to be white on the shirt, the Infinite Athlete thing. I feel like if it's gold, it looks incredible with, you know, the gold kind of badge, etc. You know, if they also have this front of the shirt sponsor gold, that would look even better. But there we have it. There's the deadline hit. That is 6:15 on the dot. Fantasy page is now updating, so hopefully everybody had their teams locked in, their bench in the right order. And yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how Salah gets on this week. I mean, there's no way he doesn't score, right? Like, there really is no way he doesn't score. But hopefully the effective ownership won't be too bad, and I can firm it and live to fight another game week. But yeah, I think that's going to do us. It is 1 minute after the deadline. Not a lot to talk about. I appreciate everybody that was in the deadline stream, and I wish everybody the best of luck this game week. Hopefully next game week, hopefully next deadline, we'll be back to kind of normal panic. Normal service should be resumed, and hopefully we get some leaks. Even though people aren't a fan of leaks, I feel like having some leaks in the prior to the deadline, should I say, kind of adds a bit of panic to the deadline stream, which is always a good thing, I think, because What's FPL without a bit of panic? But yeah, that's going to do me this week. Appreciate everybody that stopped by. Jamie, Brian, Seb, Rory, Roberto, Soccer TV, everybody that was in the stream, and everybody that's dropped a like on the stream. I appreciate you. I hope everybody has a good game week, and I wish everybody the best of luck. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you some point next week in my team selection video, and if not, then I'll see you for the deadline stream. Is it next Friday or Saturday? Who knows? Whenever it is, I'll be live.